Do you ever wonder what in the world do all these acronyms means? If you spent any time around any sort of marketer, chances are you've heard them throw around these abbreviations, this jumble of alphabet soup in referencing marketing, specifically if they claim to be a data-driven marketer, which PS is a really good thing. You want to leverage data in your marketing. However, if these terms aren't familiar to you, or more importantly, if they are confusing and you don't exactly know how to use them, well, this video is 100% for you. Hey, as we work through our Alphabet Soup series, we're going to take a look at a different letter of the alphabet and go through some common acronyms I see every day in the marketing industry that are helpful for people making decisions on, well, how to make a great decision to improve their business. So, our letter for today is the letter C. And I have a bunch of C acronyms that we'll go through that are actually really important to have a good handle on what's going on in your marketing. And the first one, and possibly the most important one when it comes to marketing, is understanding your CAC. That is your customer acquisition cost. How much money does it take to acquire a new customer? How you find that out is simply taking the amount of money you spend on marketing and dividing it by, well, the new customers you acquired as a result of this marketing effort. When you know your customer acquisition cost, you can make informed decisions about the type of campaigns you want to run. You can make decisions about your budgeting, and you can even make forecasting decisions. Here's where it comes in like hugely helpful. If you want to generate more revenue in your company and you want to grow, you need to be able to spend more money on your customer acquisition cost, unless you can find ways to make your customer acquisition cost go down. That means you'll be able to grow by having more clients with, well, less marketing spend. Knowing your baseline and keeping a good eye on what your customer acquisition costs is critical when you take a look at scaling the amount of money that comes in and, more importantly, stays in your business. The next C is your CPA, and I'm not talking about the guy that helps you with your finances. CPA in marketing land means cost per action. It's called cost per acquisition. And what that means is you take a look at how much money it costs to take a step in your marketing process. For example, we might pay money on a Facebook ad to acquire an email address by using a lead magnet. Now, when somebody takes a lead magnet, especially if it's free lead magnet, there's still money that's coming into the ecosystem. However, we know as part of a strong marketing strategy, lead magnets give us email addresses where we can nurture those client or those prospects on the back end through an email funnel. But before we get to that step, we need their email address. We need to know how much does it cost to acquire that email address. When we take a look at that, we would be looking at the CPA, the cost per acquisition. How much does it cost to bring someone new into our ecosystem? Or how much does it cost to advance someone along in the marketing process? The next C is your CPC. That's your cost per click. And this is very important if you are doing PPC marketing. Bonus, PPC means, well, pay per click. Your cost per click is going to tell you, well, pretty much what it sounds like. How much money does it cost for every click a user takes in your web presence? The next C, and this is different, is CPM. Now, that's your cost per 1,000 views on a given ad. And you might be saying, Juliana, hang on. A CPM, how in the world is that a cost per 1,000? Well, it's like a French thing. It's a metric thing. It's costs per mille. I might be sabotaging that, and I don't know the right way to say that, and I apologize in advance. However, no, that CPM means cost per 1,000. That's important because oftentimes your price that you pay is calculated by cost per 1,000 of eyeballs taking a look at your ad. Next, we're going to talk about CR, which is your conversion rate. That's simply how well do people move from phase 1 to phase 2 of your process, or phase 2 to phase 3. When you take a look at what your conversion rate is, you'll have a baseline and know where you need to, well, improve things, or if things are starting to decrease and you got to keep an eye on that. Hey, if you find that this is helpful to have not only the explanation of exactly what these acronyms mean, but also how you use them in the business, make sure you subscribe to my channel. We're going to be providing great content that goes through the entire alphabet of marketing alphabet soup to help people who are making decisions about their marketing know exactly what they're looking at, and more importantly, how to leverage that information to make sound business choices for them. All right, the next C we're going to talk about is CRO. That's your conversion rate optimization. And this is one of my favorite elements because I like to make things better. I want to make things grow. I want to bring in more money. I want to be more efficient. And I can't do that if I don't have a way to track data and to see where the various places of conversion happen and have tools to make those conversion rates better. To optimize the experience for those viewers so they're more likely to take the action that I'm requesting. Conversion rate optimization is a hot term these days, and CRO gets thrown around all the time. So be sure you know when you are hiring someone or working with someone that wants to pepper in this CRO and why it's so important, know that, yeah, it is very, very important. But go ahead and push. Ask them exactly where they're going to be tweaking things to get that optimization. Push a little bit more. Ask them exactly what they're going to be doing and how they anticipate those results to help. The best way to back down someone who is throwing around fancy acronyms and you feel like they're bluffing is to just push a little bit. Say, oh, that's a really good point. How are you going to do that? Or what's your game plan to increase my CRO? What tactics do you think might be best? Anytime you push, you'll be able to see if the person you're talking to knows their stuff or if they just watched a YouTube video and is throwing around some keywords to get your attention. Next is CTA. That's your call to action. Anytime you ask someone to do something, well, that's a call to action. When we are having a web experience, oftentimes it's set on a button. You've seen these before. It's learn more or perhaps buy now. It's important to remember that a call to action does not always have dollars tied to that specific action. So when you take a look at your processes, you need to ask yourself, have I even asked my audience to do anything? Oftentimes, especially when we're so excited about the product or the service that we offer, we go ahead and put a lot of information out there, and then we never ask for anybody to do anything in return. Finally, CTR is our click-through rate. How often do people see your materials and click and take the action that you've requested? You want to find your click-through rate by taking the number of views to a given request and dividing it by the number of people who actually took that next step. Thank you again for watching my video today. I hope you found today's version of the letter C in Marketing Alphabet Soup helpful, and we'll talk again soon.